This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstein Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 6, Episode 10, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington on social media. And I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things Washington sports and life as part of the mighty Hogstein Network on audio and YouTube here on video. All right, draft is tomorrow, first round. Boy, 3 nights. They dragged this out forever on here. But Matt and I are going to do a mock draft up to the Commanders' alleged number 11 pick if they don't trade down. I don't think they will trade down. I'm pretty sure they're not trading up. I think they'll probably stay at 11 and just grab the player they want. But all right, let's go down. First pick is, of course, Jacksonville. I'm going to have them take Trayvon Walker, the defensive lineman out of Georgia.
I got him taking Hutchinson. I mean, Hutchinson is pretty much the consensus number 1 overall pick. I could see them going offensive line here, but they just spent all that money on Brandon Sheriff. Well, they should probably still take an offensive lineman because Sheriff can't stay healthy. We all know that. But I haven't taken probably the best defensive lineman in the draft.
Of course, this is the Jags we're talking about. But
right.
All right. In the second pick, Detroit, I've got to take Hutchinson, who's defensive end out of Michigan.
I have him taking the offensive lineman, Ekwonu. Is that how you say his name? Ekwonu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Jared Goff under contract for a while. You might as well try to protect him and keep him upright and see if he can do anything.
Yeah. Of course, this is a really interesting draft because most years you can go 1 through 6, 1 through 8, pretty much bing, bing, bing. I think it could go different ways on there. I mean, number 3, I've got Houston taking Sauce Gardner, this cornerback out of Cincinnati. Really good player. It would help them, but I could see them going in a different direction.
I got him taking Evan Neal, the offensive lineman from Alabama.
Yeah. I don't know, man. To me, you go for a DB when you can in this league, but Sauce is a pretty nice player.
I agree, but Houston is in such a rebuild after trading Watson. Yep. I mean, they need to suck this year in order to get their quarterback next year.
Yeah. All right. Number 4 is the Jets. Their first of 2 picks in the top 10. It's funny, Jets and Giants both had 2 picks in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Got them taking Keon Thibodeau out of Oregon, the edge rusher.
We are in agreement.
All right. And then the Giants come along. So I've got them going. I hear they're going to take an offensive tackle with the 5th pick. So I'm going to go Evan Neal out of Alabama.
I'm going to go with Gardner. I think they go with Gardner.
I mean, you'll get it. And then 6 is where things can change. Carolina may go for a quarterback if they don't manage to somehow work a deal for Baker Mayfield or somebody. There's still things to the last minute could work out there. But if Carolina picks a guy, I think they go Malik Willis, the quarterback out of there. But if Pittsburgh manages to get this pick and move up, I think they go Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh.
I have them taking Charles Cross, the offensive lineman from Mississippi State, and they are going to swing a deal for Baker Mayfield either on day 2 or after the draft.
All right. That would be better for day 2 for them. But Carolina's got to find a quarterback.
Yep.
I don't know. But if Pittsburgh jumps up and gets Pickett, that's a local guy.
I understand.
Not that they need to sell tickets. But
I also think and we'll get to the Steelers pick. We're going to get to their pick. Let's just put it that way. I think they're more of a Malik Willis type. If they just hold tight.
All right. And then 7, the Giants are back, and I understand the Giants are trying to trade down, which I think is stupid. You get 2 guys in the top 10. Get yourself a couple blue chip players. Hopefully you pick the right guys. Right now, I've got them just taking Ahmad Gardner out of Cincinnati. But they may trade.
Yeah, we're just going to keep it like it is. Trayvon Walker, defensive lineman. I think they want to build up that defense. I think they know Danny Dimes isn't their quarterback. So, I mean, I could see them going offensive line. I don't have them taking an offensive lineman in the first 2 picks that they have. But I don't know. We'll see.
8 is Atlanta. I'm going to pull a risk here. I wouldn't do this if I was Washington, but Jameson Williams, the Atlanta wide receiver, tore his ACL in the national title game, and they say he's doing great. And we saw ACLs are now like a 6-month injury instead of a year, so I guess he'd be ready for the season. But I don't know, man. That scares me, taking a guy off an ACL with a top 10 pick. I know there's a lot of upside, but there could be a bust too. So I'll say that do it, but they're going to go for a receiver.
This is the only lock of the top 11. Atlanta goes wide out. They have no wide outs. I have them taking Garrett Wilson from Ohio State.
9. I think Seattle pretty much. I like this one. Jermaine Johnson, Florida State edge rusher.
I have him taking Stingley Jr. from LSU, the corner.
Ooh, okay. Stingley's a really nice player, and yet a lot of years he'd be a top 5.
Yep.
And not that this top 5 is so damn good, but it's just kind of somebody's got to fall.
Yeah, I think it's more of a need. I think Seattle's kind of in that transition period as well. They want to try and rebuild that defense to what it once was, and this is the starting piece. Obviously they've got a new quarterback who won't be there more than this year. Let's be honest. But they got a couple pieces on offense and on defense from the trade to Denver. I could see them starting to rebuild the old Legion of Boom with Stingley.
Yeah. 10 is the Jets. I've got them taking Drake London, USC receiver.
This is where I have Jameson Williams. I don't that size. I mean, the size and speed. He's 6'2". He's fast. Does the ACL give you a little bit of leeriness? Yes, but I think before the ACL, he was probably the number 1 wide receiver in the draft. So I think the Jets see this as a value pick.
So now Washington comes up at number 11. Olave's there, but I don't really see Olave being that high. Nobody has him on the boards that high. I've got him going Kyle Hamilton because I think they didn't get the best 2 receivers. They didn't get best several things. They're not looking for a quarterback. So I think they fix the hole they have in their defense. Played much better last year with Landon Collins playing that Buffalo nickel. And I think that's what they're thinking now. That's what they should do with this team and go for that. There's a couple inside linebackers they could go for, but I don't think they have the guts to try that again. Better to go with this guy who's a unique talent, kind of a freak hybrid player. We've heard this before, and they didn't go very well, like Sewell Cravens. But this guy's unique, and they cannot cover a tight end to save their souls. Yeah. So this is a guy that maybe could.
This is where the Pittsburgh Steelers make their trade. I do believe the Steelers jump up to 11 to draft Malik Willis. But if I'm wrong, I do have if the Commanders stay pat, I am in total agreement with you. I think they go Kyle Hamilton. Rivera even references in his press conference on Monday. They need that Buffalo player that they tried to make Landon, that Buffalo safety / linebacker. And yeah, I mean, aside from the injury, Kyle Hamilton was probably top 3 before the injury. He's going to slide a little bit due to the injury, but smart kid. If you follow my draft, this is also a spot where Drake London can fall if they don't trade. 6'4". I mean, we haven't had size on this team like that in a while. So I could see them going, but I'm going to stick with a trade. I think this is where Pittsburgh is going to say, hey, we'll give you our first, another second or another third. And, they're going to get some picks out of this. Because I feel like Malik Willis is a perfect fit for the type of offense that they like to run in Pittsburgh. If you look at what Ben did, now granted, Ben was a monster, don't get me wrong, compared to Willis. But Tomlin likes a quarterback with an arm that has an ability to scramble. I think Willis can become that player in the NFL. I'm not completely sold on Pickett. I'm not sold on Corral. I'm not sold on any of these quarterbacks. That's why, hey, look, a lot of people dog the Carson Wentz trade, but look, he's better than Heineke, and it's a 1-year deal if you really want it to be. You can get rid of him at the end of the season. And, if he sucks, hey, we're in position to get one of the good guys next year, because apparently the draft next year is stacked. So I don't know. I'm going to say the Commanders swap with Pittsburgh and get a couple extra picks out of it, because even Ron talked about it on Monday as well. And so did Martin Mayhew. The middle rounds are where they're full of talent, so they're already eyeballing getting another third since they traded theirs for Wentz, and getting them maybe another second or another fourth. They've got plans.
Yeah, and they don't have a fifth either, because that's what they used to trade up and take the deep snapper last year.
Yeah, the cheese. The cheese.
I mean, that makes you wonder about that.
The cheese was worth an extra fifth.
Oh, man.
Hey, at least it wasn't stinky cheese.
Yeah, I mean, the guy plays at least. So here, one thing I think they're going to do somewhere in the mid rounds is go for running back, because they want an inside the tackle runner. Gibson did the best he could, but frankly, it's just not good enough. You need a bull rusher between the tackles, move the chain. The best guy I like in the middle, like around the fourth round, is Rashad White, Arizona State, 6'0", 214, pretty good inside. He's got to do a little better on his decision making. But really, the best running backs in this draft, there's a couple guys in the second round, maybe Michigan State, Kenneth Walker, and Iowa State's Bruce Hall. I don't see Washington going running back in the second. So maybe they take White in the fourth.
I could see them in the fourth. I think, and I'll say this too, don't be surprised around the fourth or fifth if they don't go quarterback. They need a third quarterback on this roster, and it's not gonna be somebody that's gonna come in. It's not gonna be a first round pick, and it's gonna have all the fans screaming his name when Wentz throws an interception or two. They will go quarterback in this draft. I guarantee on to you.
Well, you got to do it by the fourth, because when's the last sixth or seventh round quarterback that's done anything in this league?
Tom Brady.
Brady's the outlier, because Brady's Brady.
He's only the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, go past Brady. What's the next guy? Nobody's got that.
Yeah, so Rick, how many first round picks have been misses? Come on, man.
Oh, half of them. But how many sixth or seventh round picks have done anything? Gus Frerotte. Okay, Gus stayed in the league 15 years. That was a 1993 pick. 94.
And what's Gus most famous for?
Banging his head against the wall.
Headbutting the wall.
But you're talking about, well, Gus, my God, man, we're going back to the 20th century for that pick. So, I just don't take a quarterback at sixth or seventh, because you can just get a free agent guy if that's what you want to do. Try and find somebody in sixth or seventh that can contribute rather than hold a clipboard.
Yep.
This team, Rivera's in year 3, 2 losing seasons. He's got at least this year, maybe next, but he can't be growing green apples here, man. He's got to get somebody to help. So I don't see that happening. I don't see him doing it there. Let's see. When the draft is done, before we get out of here, when the draft's done, what do you say Washington is, better or worse over this off season?
I'm going to say incomplete, because I'm sorry, there's a lot of veterans that are not on this team that we thought were going to be a part of this team going forward. I'll say slightly better.
I'd say they're about even at best. I mean, Wentz is the guy you got to sit there and look at. If Wentz can play well, they'll be a better team. But if he doesn't, doomed.
And right now, Wentz is a hair better than Heineke.
Yeah, they lost a lot of pieces on this. All right, well, the draft's on Thursday night. Make sure you watch my show. None of you are listening now, but if you do. And we'll be back next week with all the wrap-up of everything. So I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.